Chugga chugga choo choo, it's the Baby Oopsie train. Get on board, everybody, because this one's all about Baby Oopsie. You think I'm kidding? You think it won't be? Stick around, because it's Oopsie time, I'm so pleased you could join me today for this emergency video. Listen to me very closely because your life will depend on it. Baby Oopsie, the movie about a killer baby doll, a spin-off from the Demonic Toys franchise of feature films, owns. I know who I am. I know the strength of my convictions is lost on many of you when I say that this movie owns. I don't mean that with any qualifiers. I'm not saying it's so bad it's good. I'm standing before you today, of sound mind and body, and telling you, of my own free will, that Baby Oopsie is a good movie if you adjust your expectations accordingly. Baby Oopsie, the movie about the least interesting demonic toy, somehow kicks ass. I genuinely don't know how more people aren't talking about Baby Oopsie and this movie's greater implications for the demonic toyniverse. Now look, is Baby Oopsie high art? Is it the best movie I've ever seen? Does it deserve to be shown in film school? Yes, that's what I'm saying. All of those things are true. This is a Full Moon Features production, which comes with a certain pedigree. This is the studio that brought you such quality films as The Grim Rapper, Hookers in a Haunted House, Attack of the Virgin Mummies, Maximum Thrust, Femalien, Femalien 2, The Search for Kara, Femalien, Cosmic Crush, Femaliens, Seduction of the Species, Dr. Alien, Unlucky Charms, Ouija's Halloween Night, and of course, who could forget, Bikini Frankenstein. My point here is that Full Moon has a bit of a reputation for making low-budget garbage. And it's usually 1 degree away from softcore porn if you're lucky, but usually it is just softcore porn. But they also turn out a lot of memorably goofy franchises that aren't quite good, but are usually not great. The most famous is, of course, Puppet Master. Demonic Toys is itself kind of a ripoff of Puppet Master because they're trying to capitalize on the Puppet Master formula. Not the only ripoff of Puppet Master made by the studio that made Puppet Master, and it's not the best one, but it is the only one that's fought Doll Man so far. Baby Oopsie takes place decades after the events of the original Demonic Toys, but don't worry, if you haven't seen Demonic Toys, they'll get you up to speed. In case you were curious, it's about toys that are demonic.
According to legend, the demon possessed the toys, bringing them to life in a horrific bid to bring hell on earth, Toy Hell.
Baby Oopsie follows Sybil Pittman, a shy and introverted doll enthusiast with intrusive, violent fantasies about hurting people who abuse her. Sybil is such a loser that she runs a little internet show about her niche hobbies. Like, can you imagine what kind of... Well, what makes her think pathetic is that she acts out all these little scenarios with the dolls, but like, they're not real. It's just characters you made up. Mildo, I did it. I got to the final round of the Tenka Ichi Babaduka Kai. I'm the star of the tournament, Mildo. Huh? How can this be? Has Bobby really mastered his fighting spirit? Has he perhaps become the legendary Super Babadook, the star of the channel? Impossible. I thought of him while high on marijuana edibles. Your power doesn't rival mine, Bobby. I will easily overcome you with my special like and subscribe technique. Okay, well, I guess we'll settle this in the ring. See ya. Hey, speaking of skill, this video is brought to you by Skillshare, the online learning community with thousands of ad-free classes to help you pick up and develop new skills. Skillshare classes are designed to be entertaining and digestible, letting you learn and practice at your own pace. Recently, I've been trying to improve my digital art, and after taking this class, Coloring Digital Art, A Practical Approach by Mal Perez, I did my first digital painting. Is it impressive? No, not really. But that's the point. I'm learning. This proves I learned. If you little creeps want to get your grubby little mitts on Skillshare, head on over to the link in the description or use my exclusive coupon code SCAREDYCATS30. You'll get 30% off a year Skillshare classes. That's 3 free months, baby. That's less than $10 a month for all the learning your cute little brain can handle. Why don't you go learn some new skills, get some skills. Learn how to keep your plants alive. Learn how to knit. Just go learn. So Sybil runs this doll restoration show on the internet, and it's not quite clear whether it's meant to be popular or not. It seems like every other character watches it, but she doesn't seem to make any money from it, so I don't know. A mysterious figure sends her the head of baby Oopsie, who we, the audience, know is a demonic toy. But while she's restoring it, we are introduced to Mitzi, Sybil's cartoonishly abusive stepmother, who is unreasonably mean to her for no real reason other than that she's like a Mino, and the movie's making you just wait for baby Oopsie to kill her. It's one of those type of movies where like the people that the doll is gonna kill are all gonna be like that. Also present, Christy, the nice lady that Mitzi rents a room to. I get it. Mitzi's a landlord. That's why she was being so shitty. I get it now. Sybil goes through a day in the life of a doll liker. She talks to the mailman who's madly in love with her, the gardener who does housework for free because he liked Sybil's dad, the mean teens in the neighborhood who bully Sybil, and the very persistent Girl Scout who wants to sell her cookies. And then finally, her terrible boss named, get this, I think you'll have a laugh at this one, Karen, right? Get it? Get it? Right? But forget all of those characters, forget every single one of them, because the most important thing you need to know is that Ray Ray's here.
Hey, honey. How you doing?
Not now, Ray Ray.
Earl left this on my porch by mistake. Great wedding show last night. I nearly cried my eyes out. I'm a total mess at weddings.
Ray Ray is a fan of Sybil's doll show, and he moved across town to be next to her because he's confident that they'll be best friends eventually, and I believe him. Ray Ray steals the fucking show.
Piss off, Ray Ray. That there's my best friend.
When Ray Ray's not on screen, every other character should be asking, where is Ray Ray? What's Ray Ray doing? How can we get Ray Ray involved in this action? For some reason that is unfathomable to me, Sybil can't stand Ray Ray and wants nothing to do with him. I do not find that realistic. Sybil gets mugged by the teen bullies and as a result is late for work due to not having her bus pass. Karen chews her out and belittles her and is just begging for a doll to murder her. Like, she talks like she doesn't live in a world where dolls murder people.
Late again. That's 2 times in 6 months.
I was robbed.
And the company was robbed of having enough operators this morning. Oh, Sybil. I'm so sorry you're you.
Coincidentally, around this time, Sybil gets a pentagram medallion in the mail and she's like, oh, this must be part of that doll I recently received. This must be a doll part. So she sews that into baby Oopsie, who promptly comes to life and starts a murdering. Oopsie kills the teens while they're playing a Puppet Master video game, which evidently exists. Hey, I just remembered that the fine feathered finks over at October Games who were developing the Puppet Master video game actually sent me a key to their previous game called Horror Legends, featuring a lot of full moon characters. So if, like me, you're obsessed with full moon features, fun game. And if this video gets 10,000 likes, I will play the Puppet Master video game to completion on this channel, assuming there's a single player campaign, because it looks like it's an asymmetrical team shooter. So if there's not a single player campaign, I'll just play a few rounds of it. Let me know. Though the teens called it Gem Jammer for some reason.
What up?
Just being noob ass on Gem Jammer.
I think they probably threw in game footage in post, but like, it's pretty cool. This movie is not real shy about Puppet Master references. Remember Puppet Master? We have the rights to that one too, so you know. So anyway, Oopsie kills Mitzi real gruesomely, like way more violently than I was expecting, with some decent practical effects. Like on the gore, not on anything else, because holy shit. Look at what baby Oopsie looks like. That's a good shot of baby Oopsie. Here's a bad one. Look at this fucking thing. If you have not yet added this movie to your Netflix queue, I do not understand you as a human being. Also, it's definitely not on Netflix. At first, Sybil's like, this sucks. I don't want a doll to murder everybody. But then Oopsie's like, it'd kind of be sick though, right? Because I could kill people you don't like. And Sybil's like, actually, good point. I never thought of it that way. I guess you and I are cool now. We're best friends, baby Oopsie. So they're murder friends for a while, and that brings Sybil out of her shell and makes her more confident, and it's genuinely nice to see. The murder duo kill Karen with some you can't do that on television slime, and some more teens, and Sybil's like, sick, all right, we did it. We killed everybody I don't like. Good job, Oopsie. And Oopsie's like, yeah, thing is though, I do want to keep killing people, so I'm gonna kill people you do like if that's okay. And Sybil's not down with that. She draws the line there. You don't just murder people who aren't annoying to you personally. And Oopsie's like, all right, I guess we're enemies. We were friends for 5 minutes of this movie, but I guess we're enemies again. Oopsie kills Christy, and that's the last straw. Sybil gets a montage to show that now Sybil is cool. And can I just stop and say what an incredible protagonist that Sybil is? She not only has a clear point of view and personality that informs her actions throughout the movie, but also a fun little arc that actually pays off thematically. She starts off the movie like taking shit from people, and by the end of it learns to stand in her power. And I know that's kind of a bog standard thing in a real movie, but this isn't a real movie, it's Baby Oopsie, so it genuinely impressed me. Sybil's not your typical hero in a movie like this. She has a lot of interesting facets to her personality. Like, for example, she's kind of a horror villain in her own right. She's got a kind of Norman Bates thing going on. And despite being in-universe treated like this asocial loser, the movie is very much on her side. There are no jokes about Sybil's appearance, the movie never seems like it's making fun of her, and by the end, she gets to be genuinely tough and devil-may-care in a way that's typically reserved for male character actors like Bruce Campbell. You don't see a lot of women go through the zero-to-hero character arc, and especially not bigger women, and that really works for this movie. Even though Sybil's like kind of fucked up, you root for her. Oopsie is also really well utilized in a way that I did not expect. I love that she's not just a murder demon posing as a doll, she's a murder demon that is also a doll. She wants to do doll stuff as well as murder stuff. The doll thing isn't just an affectation, she genuinely is part doll, part murder, all cop. Like, she wants to feed Mitzi down the garbage disposal, wear a little party hat while doing it, and she asks Sybil if they can have a pizza party if she does a good enough job killing Karen.
You drop me off, and I'll show her who's in charge. Then, if baby does good, can we go out for root beer and pizza?
It sets her apart from the other evil toy horror characters who are very much not toy-like. They're just evil-like. And then they do this little joke where she sees an Annabelle.
What are you looking at, bitch? There's a new sheriff in town, sweetie. Conjure this.
What? Who's the sheriff? Like, I know that that's a turn of phrase, there's a new sheriff in town, but it doesn't... I haven't seen the Annabelle movies. Are there sheriffs in them? Is there something to this joke? So Sybil defeats Oopsie with the power of being an adult with the strength of a normal person. Oopsie doesn't use her acid slime. I guess she can only do that after she's eaten or something. Sybil just kind of fucks her up because of course she would. It's a little doll the size and strength of a baby. Sybil stumbles out of the house in a daze where the mailman offers her one final package. And she snaps at him, "Stop giving me all these packages. I've had it up to here with these packages." And he says this.
I never understood why he didn't just walk these packages over himself.
Walk them over from...
Save the postage.
What?
Well, all the packages I delivered to you were mailed from Ray Ray's house.
That's right, motherfuckers. Ray Ray was the villain all along. Sweet, beautiful Ray Ray.
Oh, hey, honey.
He casts a spell over Sybil and makes her a doll. Ray Ray is gonna take over the world. This isn't a movie anymore, it's a Goosebumps book. We're gonna have a Goosebumps ending, the end. And listen to me closely, Full Moon Features. I know that you're working on a sequel. I know that you're doing that. Firstly, the movie should be released with the title of Untitled Baby Oopsie Sequel. That is non-negotiable. And secondly, it must feature Sybil and Ray Ray. I will not watch it otherwise, and I will make certain that none of my audience does either. If you want to make a Full Moon extended universe, and I know you fucking do, Sybil, she's the connecting thread. She should just go from town to town, fighting all your crazy monsters, fighting Radu, fighting head of the family. This movie is a fucking blast, but it is what it is. If you like schlocky garbage, if you like the cheapo dreck that Full Moon puts out, this is a must-watch. This is an absolute delight, end to end. And while it's, you know, a Full Moon movie, I don't want to give you the impression that I enjoyed it ironically, because it's super cheap and isn't traditionally what one might consider it's skillfully made. But there's a genuine effort and joy in this movie that I did not expect. Since Full Moon discovered that weed is funny, they've been on a bit of a decline, and it's interesting to see them kind of claw their way back a little bit. This feels like an older Full Moon movie, where they're actually trying to make a thing that's fun, even if it's cheap. And if you include Sybil and Ray Ray in the sequel, mark my words, it will be reviewed on this channel. Oh fuck, Full Moon, look at me. Full Moon, I'll write it for you. I'll write it for free. I don't give a fuck. Get out of your own way. Go watch Baby Oopsie. You've earned Baby Oopsie. Now the question on everyone's mind, does the murder doll do a big piss? Yeah, in one scene she does, yeah. The thing is, the doll does piss. Because she's Baby Oopsie, right? So she's gotta have an oopsie, naturally. You know, Sometimes you gotta make a video and you wanna make it around 10 minutes and you decide you're gonna do one about Baby Oopsie. Not a lot you can say about it. Baby Oopsie is a diaper murder doll, and so watch that movie.